give Sylvia to speak, I will explain you a bit what is the objective of this session. So it's about how to conduct research on company. And it's really about using the tool that you have available for you in the library and at IESE to do the right research to prepare for interview, but many other things also. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to share the whiteboard. I don't know if you have already done this with in class. And I would like to ask you, what were your expectations from this session? And then I will go more into detail of the objective of the session. So you know how to do this. You need to go on the top. There is a button to say annotate, and you can write down what are your expectations from this session. So for which reason do you want to do company research? What do you want to get from this session? What do you would like to learn about this session? Do you see it? So the best is to use the text button because drawing is a bit difficult on screen. Yes, someone?
You just want us to answer these questions through the chat or how?
Do you see my screen or not? You can answer to the chat.
Yes, I see it.
If it's better for you, you can answer from the chat.
Yeah, because we can't write on your screen.
Yes, to write on the screen, you need to click on the top of the screen. You have something that says annotate.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I can see find more internship opportunity with the right research. So for this one, you will be able to find more companies, but internship opportunities will not be in this in the tools that we are going to show you today, but I will have another session for this. But you can find lots of other companies, what we call the hidden market, because usually we know the big name company, and we don't know what are the other company in the sector that you really want to go into. Yes, so standing out from the other candidates for sure. If you do the right research, you will get more information about the company, so you will be able to speak with the recruiter and during interview, and also to write your cover letter in a better way and prepare yourself for the interview for sure. So these are the things that we are going to look on, how you can find this right information to prepare yourself. Know better the resources. So yes, this is one thing that we are going to look, and also to write cover letter. And better understanding the company. Of course, you will see that there will be lots of company profile, and you can understand lots of different things from them in a more deep way. Non-corporate search. So this one, maybe Sylvia, you will have to answer to it. The tools that we are going to look at are more for multinational and medium company. Mm-hmm. So I think we have lots of things to cover. So we will try to cover all these things. Know how to address cover letter 2. So this one also, yes, you can find some names, but it depends on the place. I mean, if it's in the headquarters. But I think we can find some names. Maybe Sylvia, you can show this later. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to let Sylvia speak about showing you the tool. Okay. So just for you to know a little bit what we are going to do, it's really about this, stand out from the other candidate and answer to this question, why this company? It's also to find useful information to prepare business case interview, because sometimes, the company asks you for business case interview and you have to prepare a presentation that you need to send before. So you can find also lots of information to prepare this case. It's also to write a cover letter. So finding information on how to write cover letter. Also to answer to technical questions, because you will find lots of information about the company. And to ask right question, because you will see that in some report, you will find some question that you can ask to some company. So what could be the nice question to ask to a recruiter? Okay, so let's start. I will let Sylvia. So Sylvia is working for more than 10 years now at the IESE Library. So she knows very well the tools that we are going to show you. And the idea is that we are going to show you 3 main tools. There are many others, so we will get into 3 of them today. And we are going to show you exactly where you can find things, the tips and tricks that you need to use this tool as your best, okay? Mm-hmm. One thing that maybe Sylvia, you can share your screen now.
Okay.
I don't know if you have already met Sylvia. She was at the IESE Library every afternoon. And she and her team help the student to find the information they need there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm ready.
So I heard, Sylvia, that these tools are available for the MBA student only for during the 2 years that they are at IESE, and after they will not have access.
Yes, unfortunately, when they are not students anymore, and as a members of the Alumni Association, you don't have access to the same databases because license reasons we can give you the access. So it's important to use these tools and these resources while you can for free, because after it's not available. And it's a very useful resources that we give you while you're a student.
Yeah, and I have heard that also some report are, the cost of some report are almost like 500 euro each report.
Yes,
so it's
to access as an individual, not corporate licenses, the prices are very high normally for this type of information.
And what type of company can we find in this tool? So maybe you can start to show us the first one.
I will do first like an introduction, because this will be useful for any library database in the future that they want to explore. And just the first thing, how to get to the library website. I'm sure they have like a link in their virtual campus or something, but if you are in the main IESE webpage, which is really easy, iese.edu, from here we are under the faculty and research menu. Here is the library link, okay? So here we get to our website. Let's see, I'm doing it again. Okay, this is our website. Okay, the library website. Once here, we need to scroll down to the mid section of the page and look for this button. This is where all the databases the library subscribes are. So the 3 ones that we are going to be focusing today are in this list. But here you can see everything, and you can use this to sort them out, so you can explore this when you want. This is just to let you know. And the other important thing is when you click on any of these databases, an IESE screen will appear where you have to put your IESE username and password to be able to access. To the majority of them, because there are few that only can be accessed in the library campus, but there are very few, like the Bloomberg Terminal or some financial databases like Acon, that is not possible to be accessed remotely, but the ones that we are going to see today are completely fine to be accessed online. So I don't know if you prefer to follow a special order, Manuela, if to see.
Yeah. So maybe we wanted to ask you if you have any company that you would like to search. We were thinking of doing an example of Nike. So if that's fine for you, just write in the chat, or if you want to try another company that you would like to search on, it has to be a multinational or a medium company. So anyone who wants to try any other company than Nike to do research on? No?
Okay.
So let's start with Thomson.
Okay.
Okay. Bayer, someone is asking for Bayer.
Bayer, okay. We can do that then. First of all, let's select the name of the database from the list. In this case, we choose the letter T, and Thomson 1 is the first one that appears. Important, Thomson 1 only works with Internet Explorer. It's not going to work with any other browser. So you need to use Internet Explorer. So because I'm using a Mac, now I have to do some magic and change to be able to show you Thomson 1, but I can access it from here, I hope. Let me see. Here, open. Okay, now I'm using Internet Explorer, and I'm going to do the same as before, going to the library website. And choosing Thomson. Databases. Okay, and now I'm going to be able to access. As I said, you need always to put your IESE credentials here, your username and your password, and then we get in. Okay, this is how Thomson 1 database looks like. I don't know if you already know Thomson 1. Have you worked with the database before? Well,
Thomson
it's
taking
to review.
Yeah, so Thomson, it's about all the financial big company overview.
And now I'm changing, by default it should always open here in the company views, but mine has opened with the market views. So just make sure to change to company views, and here choose the overview, because then when we run the search, we will get the report, the standard report on companies. So Thomson 1, the thing about the coverage, what it includes, it's for companies worldwide, but only public companies are there. The other database that we are going to see later, which is called Orbis, includes also private companies, but Thomson, it has only public companies, and mostly large and very large companies. The coverage of the library databases for small and medium companies is not that good compared to what we have for large and very large companies. We will give you alternatives on how to get some information, at least for small and medium companies, but it's not what we have most. So now to see how Thomson 1 works, let's try, sorry, did you say Bayer?
Bayer.
The company you wanted to try? Okay, we use the main search box here at the top, and we just type the name of the company we want, in this case, and see if we have it. It seems that it's available, so we click on the name of the database and we will see the information. This is the main screen that you get for a company. You have a lot of different sections with a lot of information. Let's scroll down to see all the sections. There's really a lot. That's why Thomson 1 is the database we recommend, because it's really complete, and it's up to you if you want to go into detail and see everything, or just select something that it's more important to you when preparing for your interviews. Each section, or well, maybe it's not each, but most of them they have a link to see more information. This is like a highlight, and you can go in more detail if you click. And what we wanted to highlight from Thomson are two sections that are down there. We do scroll down all the way. And the first one is this. It's called the investment bank report or analyst report on the company. You can find them here.
Can you try the Dutch bank report?
Yes, now we are going to see what we can do within the report. You need to open like this, the complete list, to be able to work with everything fine. So here, first option, you can set a date. By default, it's going to be this last 90 days. But if you want to change it, you can change it here and make it more like 6 months or 1 year, what you want. And then here is the results. These are the list of all the investment bank reports available. The latest ones appear first. And here's the name of the contributor. So if you are familiar with some of them and you have already seen some reports for this contributor and you like the format and the information they give, you can choose that to filter and select the report you like. But if you have no idea and you want to focus on the content, what this report talks about, normally it's an overview of the company, of the situation of the company, but we can use this tool here that will allow us to search keywords inside the report. And we can search these keywords on the title, on the whole text of the report, on both, or in the table of contents. So if here, for example, I type keywords like strategy or maybe future or challenge, something that goes in this direction, I could retrieve reports that include those words in the report. So this is a good option to select from the whole list, because there are a lot. Then this is a way to filter them.
So just for you to understand here, what you can find to prepare your interview is really about the idea of what they have as a strategy for the future. And this investment banking, they have written things that you can use to help your interview, but also to think about what you can add value during the interview and for the company. And if maybe if you can show one report, because I would like to show the list of questions, you know.
Yes, not all the reports have the same thing you find in the Deutsche Bank report, so it may change, because the report you find, for example, it was from 2018 or 17, I think. So I think for the investment bank report, the good thing is that we have some very, very up to date, very new. So maybe check all of those, because they are really up to date. And then for the more, how can I say that, documents where the company explain things about how it's the company going at the moment, that's the other section I wanted to show, which is the event transcripts. You can find event transcripts for every company in Thomson One. And because they do this very frequently, you can really know nowadays what is buyer telling their shareholders about how is the company doing. And I think that could be very interesting to show them that you know how the company is doing. So I'm going to show how to get that. If anyone has a question, you can interrupt me and I'll try to answer. It's okay for now? Okay. Then to see these even transcripts, we just need to change section. We are now here in the overview. We have to go here to the news and corporate events. And the last one is the event transcripts. So we click here. And this is what we have available for buyer. And it's sorted out by date. So the latest one is the first one to appear. And these icons here, they classify the type of event. Here you have earnings calls presentations. Here, this is shareholding, the shareholder annual meetings. Well, this is to let you know the type of event. And on the other side, we have the download options for each document. We can download it in PDF, Word, or a text format. Okay, so, and once again, here you have it it's not like in real time, but almost, because it's what the company share with their shareholders. You can see it here. Any question? Okay, well, Thompson, as you said, I'm going to go back to the company overview. It has a lot more than only those two sections, but I think these two sections is what makes Thomson different from other databases, because the key financials, you can find it in other databases the library has. The competitors, you can choose it from other databases also, but in Thomson, these two particular sections are only available here. That's what we wanted to show them to you. Okay. I can hear you now, Manuela.
Yes, thank you. So maybe after the session, we can send some example of report. I will send it by email to you for you to see also how it looks like as a PDF.
Oh, wait, sorry, I just, for the investment bank report, you mean?
Yes.
Sure, we can, sorry, I just go,
yeah.
Let's see one to see how.
Just open the one of Dutch Bank, I just want to see.
Okay, then we can do that. We can also search for a contributor if we have a favorite one.
Yeah,
just
because I want to see if they do the same with.
Okay, let's try it then. Then I'm going to change the date, because probably last 90 days is not going to give us a lot. So let's try what. Oh, I think it doesn't get the. Okay, now it's there. So we have the date, the contributor, and the company is already here. So we run the search and see it's saying something.
No.
Let's see, I can see if it's thinking or not. Yeah, okay. Let's see, oh yeah, and we have, let's choose the
first one,
the latest one. When accessing the documents, the format to download it, it's a bit special. I mean, normally you see only a PDF icon and that's all in the other databases, but here they did it this way. So you need to select this, not this first up here, this one, and then click on view, and the PDF will appear. Okay, this is how the report from Deutsche Bank looks like. And I don't know if they have the question part that they don't have a summary? No. Well, we can, wait, I'm going to, how can I change this? Okay, let's use can I try questions? But it was like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's try. This particular report is
Doesn't
not like the one you...
Yeah. So what we have found sometimes in some reports, it's a list of questions that you can ask to the company that are really interesting to help them in their strategy. It's like a consultant question, you know.
Yeah.
So let's move to the maybe to the other tool. We were saying that maybe we can look at Orbis, which is another tool that you can find a company profile, and it's less about financial report, but more about company profile in general.
Well, the thing Orbis, the idea we thought about mentioning Orbis is because, well, first of all, let me go back to the Mac and to the library. Okay, library website is Orbis. As I mentioned before, it includes public and private companies, and it's also for large and very large companies. And the good thing, like I'm going to show you, let's open Orbis. Remember, we are on the database list from the library website. We click on the name of the database, and Orbis is this one. So let's see how, once again, my username and password, and we're in. Okay, sometimes this happens because a previous session hasn't been closed properly, so you just need to click on restart and you will see the database.
So maybe, Sylvia, we can look at Uber, because it was another company that a student...
Okay, so the idea first, before we do the example, is that in Orbis, the good thing is that you can just type the name of a company that you have already in mind, like this case, Uber. But if not, you have a lot of possibilities to run searches, complex searches, to get a list of companies, maybe of a specific sector, a specific geography. All these fields you see here are fields you can use to search, to run a complex search. So this is the potential of Orbis.
And this is very important because someone's asked for finding opportunities. So here you can find like list of companies depending on the location that you would like to work in, and name of company that you have never thought about, but that are in the sector that you like. So maybe you can show very quickly
Yes, we did the example, and if it's okay, I'm going to repeat that. We were talking about the sports companies that manufacture sport goods. So the way to find the list of that companies in Orbis would be using this field, activities and industry. We click and we see here that we have industry classifications that we can use to select the industry we want. Here we see the name of the classification. We can change it. By default, they use the IESE, the version 2. And you can navigate through the classification here, but you can type a keyword and see what you got. So in our case, we tried doing it with sports in general. And here we have all within the classification where sports as a keyword appear. And we'll see that we have this, the manufacturer of sport goods, it's here. So we just click, we select this here, and we say okay. And this will add this field to our search. So from the main set of companies that we also, by default, this first step is always done for you, which is looking only for active companies. Because in Orbis, you have also companies that are no longer active if you want to do a search for historical reasons to see which companies are not longer there. They are in the database, but in our case, we want only to see active companies. So this first step is always done first. And we see that we have 1,308 companies in this sector in Orbis that we can, if we want to see them, click on view results and we get the whole list. But we can add another field, another step to our search. We go back to here, and in this case, let's add a location. We want to see from this sector, let's try only companies in Spain, for example. We will do the same here in the world region, country or subdivisions. We type Spain. We have it here. We click. We said OK, and another step is added to the search. And now we have narrowed it down to only 6 companies. And we can view the results here. And these are the 6 companies available in Orbis.
So here what is interesting is really to get to know, according to your North Star goal or your career goal, what are the companies that you are looking in a specific location, or what are the companies that you don't know the name, because the name is not a brand name, but they are still a good company where you can find a job where, and it's what we call the hidden market. We always speak about big company like Nike or Adidas or ASICS, but then you have other name, okay? And then you can do research on LinkedIn to find any alumni or any people, and then start your network and connection. So maybe we can look at one company profile.
Sure. Is it okay if we choose one of these, or do you prefer to do a normal search in?
Let's try Uber, maybe.
Okay, then for that we will go here to the menu on the left, the first option. We will take us back to the search menu, and here we always have our latest search here, in case we will want to keep doing and adding things to that search. But if we want to do a new one, you just type here and see if we have, okay, we have results, because Orbis also has information on all the subsidiaries of a company. Make sure that you choose the one you want. If you want to see the parent company, make sure that the name is the correct one. And also because they are sorted out by revenue, normally the parent company should appear the first, which I guess is the case of your technologies, right? It seems like this is the one. Let's assume it is. And now we say, okay, we want to see this result. It hasn't. Let's do it again. Okay, now. This is how a report in Orbis looks like. The screen that we are seeing highlights the most important information from the different sections. We can scroll down and see this highlight, but then we can navigate the report using this menu here on the left, and we can go more in detail in each section. So, for example, for the financials, you have different formats and also graphics, like a more visual representation of the numbers. We have the peer comparison also. Here you will see competitors for this company. Okay, you have them here. Okay.
Competitor name are very important. So here also you can find other company name. And it's important when you prepare your interview to know what are the competitors. on the market? This is sometimes a question that they can ask. What do you know about our competitor? How can we manage to gain more market? These kind of things.
And I wanted to say that because this is done by default by Orbis following the rules, this group, this peer group, they tell you here down how it's made. Following this, they choose the standard peer group is based on the industry classification, and it says which group they have decided to use. So but I'm saying this because sometimes if you are looking only to the activity of the company, sometimes it doesn't quite work. It's, other companies from other sector might appear because the classification they decided to use it's up to them. So sometimes, so you always have the other option. Do it yourselves, like I showed before. You decide which classification is the one that works for you, really. So if the peer list they gave you doesn't really convince you, you can make it yourselves. Okay. And Orbis, what more from Orbis?
Yes, I wanted to ask you the name of directors, manager, and advisor.
Oh, yes, you can see this information here. Here's the section, director, managers, and advisors. And you have current and previous. So for our purposes, let's see the current. And you have them classified by their position.
One question was, to whom can I write a cover letter? Here you have some names, but I'm not sure.
Here you have in the management and staff. Here you have at least 3 people from the human resources. Normally they are like people with the
very high
responsibility. So, but at least you have three names here.
And so here also you can read the company profile, and you can also download the PDF, no?
Yeah, sure. These things, let me change the, okay. The options are always on the top of here, and you have, you can download it in Excel or PDF. And you can download the whole report. It will ask you if you want the whole report or if you want just a section. Like I just want the financials or this thing about the employees and the directors, you can choose.
And you told me that there is another tool which is not Orbis, but it's called SABI, that you can use for report for only company in Spain. So this is only for you to know. Yeah?
Yes, that's the thing. They are SABI and Orbis are from the same supplier, so they look very alike in the way they are made and the way you need to do the searches. So once you know a bit Orbis, you can do the search in SABI, and SABI is specifically for Spanish companies.
The last tool that I wanted you to show us is the market line, because here we can find interesting information, and specifically on the SWOT of the company.
Yes.
Where you can see the trends, the opportunity, and this is, I think, a very good tool for interview preparation and also business case preparation also, because you can see what are the opportunities for each company.
So let's do the same. Let's go back to the list of databases, and in this case we choose letter M, and market line is the first one to appear. We click on the name, and now I have accessed it directly because I've already put my username and IESE password before, and now it's already there. But when you do it the first time, it's always necessary to put your credentials. So this is how market line looks like. And as you see here in the menu, you have a specific place to do the company search. So let's use this and see. Okay, here we will just type the name of the company here in the main search box and try to, what do we?
Let's type Nike.
Okay.
Yes.
So we put Nike this time and we see that it's available. And we use the icon to run the search. Then we have the results. Make sure that the one you want is the right name. And we click in the name and the report is open. The online report, this is how it looks. The online report, once again, you have like a summary that highlights the information of each section. You can scroll and see almost everything at once, but then you can use the menu on the left here to navigate each section and see more details of each section. And what we wanted to highlight from MarketLine was, as Manuela says, was this, the SWOT analysis. This seems just like the title, but you can click here and you go to the SWOT analysis. There you are. So first you have like this more visual representation, but then if you scroll down, you can see details for each part. It's like explained.
And really, I think that this part is quite interesting when you want to work on your why this company, what you can do for the company, what are the challenges and the trends, and showing that you have done your research and that you know what they need to do to grow and what are the business opportunities.
Mm. And here up here, you have the download options. You can download a PDF or a Word document for this section. And also there is another section that I think it's interesting, which is here inside the profile section, this subsection which is called company statement. Here, normally they include this type of information that companies put on their websites when they talk about things like their culture, the strategy, things like that, more like not just numbers, but more descriptive things about the company. You can find it here. MarketLine put it here already, so you don't have to check the website separately of the company, and you can do it all from one screen.
Yeah, so the value,
all companies have this section. Mm-hmm.
So value and culture of the company, information of the company, these are quite interesting to prepare your cover letter. You can start to see what can motivate you there, but also what are the things that make the fit between you and them. So it's a lot of reading, but at least you don't need to go into Google and do some random search. This tool, all the tools that we have shown here, they give you the right information. And this is the main difference between the Google search and here. Mm-hmm. And also we can see the top competitor also. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot more to explore. We just highlighted just two things, but in MarketLine you have the basic ones are in almost every database that we have at the library for company info, the financial, competitors, everything is going to be there. And also, I think I forgot to mention the news about company are also available in, I think, all the three databases that we have seen. All of them give you access to news about the company. Thomson has a section for it. Orbis also has a section for news, and MarketLine also.
Yeah, and there is a specific tool now on news that is Factiva, and maybe
Yes, I think it's interesting because of what I said or what I've mentioned before, that maybe, unfortunately, the company that you are interested in, it's not in any of these databases because it's maybe a medium-sized company and it's not there. So maybe the library has a database that has information on that company, but at least we can help you to find news somewhere about this company, because we have a database specifically to look for news, which is called Factiva. And it has a very broad coverage. It includes newspapers from all over the world. So you will surely find news about the company you're interested in using Factiva.
and like the startup and the smaller company.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any specific question while we are opening Factiva that you can write on the chat?
Okay, well, let's try again. Okay, now it's working. This is how Factiva looks like, and the idea is that you can use this like free text search to write keywords and combine them and do the search you want. But for our purposes, I recommend you to look for the company using the specific field for companies, which is here, down here in the middle. And here you will type the name of the company. Let's just do it with Uber, for example. It will be this, it was Uber Technologies, right? Yeah. So we will choose Uber. And then here, the important things to add to our search will be the dates. Choose like the more recent news. Because the thing with Factiva is that if we don't set quite a few filters, it's going to give us a lot of results and it can be a bit overwhelming. So it's better to first set some limits, like also we can use here there is this subject field. We can tell that we only want corporate and industrial news about the company, and also languages, because the coverage is worldwide, but if we can read some languages, we can just choose the ones we can read. We can choose English and Spanish or whatever other languages you want, but we can use this to narrow down the results. And then we just run the search. And let's see, we have, as you see, we have a lot of results. And here on your left, you have more options to keep on filtering this news. You can choose a source. If you see a source that you think it's reliable and you like, you can just filter for that source, name of a journal or for a magazine, and then you can narrow down the results even more.
Thank you, Silvia. So we haven't shown you about Passport. We wanted to, because there are lots of other tools now. So Passport is another one that you can use. Mm-hmm. Orbis is more complete because you have a private and public company, but Passport you have mainly the private company there?
It's a mix. The thing is that the number of companies that are included in Orbis are, Orbis has more companies than Passport.
Mm-hmm. In Passport, I heard that there are consulting project, tailor-made consulting project that you can have, you can read there. Company profile for sure, and it's about report of big company. So you can have a look at all these tools. Of course, the conclusion, Sylvia, is that all the tool will give you some information, but at the end, it's at the end you go always to the tools that you prefer in terms of usage, no? Because they are all very different.
Yes, I think the important thing is to know that you have access to all of them anytime, so you can explore them, feel which one is the one you feel more comfortable using, because some of them, as you see, have more or less the same information, and also know which ones have a specific type of information that you will only be able to find it there. But just to, before we finish, because we have said quite a lot of things, from the library website, here, if you scroll down, we have this section here, which is called Guides. You can always come back here to remember what databases have mentioned today, because we have a guide especially for company info, and all these databases that we have seen today are going to be here mentioned. And you have the link and you can go. And also more than we've seen today. Here is everything the library has.
Yes.
So you can always go back to the guides.
Just to give you also a bit of testimony, I have a lot of students, previous year students, that really encourage all the other MBA students to go into this research, because it really makes the difference. They have seen that when you do this research, during an interview, or even when you write your cover letter, or even for you when you do your own research for like many other company and the networking, etc., it makes the difference. It takes lots of time because you have to go into it, to read, to do your research, but at the end it worth it. And I remember Mike Rosenberg saying, asking one day to me, what is the most important things for you to manage a project? And I was saying working in team, and I was always saying like that, I think working in team is the most important. And then at the end, what he told me that, yes, working in team is important, but doing your own research for your own knowledge, it's also something important, because here you have access to lots of knowledge, and this is where you as an individual, you can make the difference. And when we speak about interview, it's a lot about you as an individual and less as you working in a team to manage things in general. So I think you should take the advantage here to look at all these tools. And Sylvia and the team, they will be always available to help you, because of course they know the tool really well and they are always on these things. And sometimes they can help you to do some research and finding the information you would like. So don't hesitate to connect with them and to try things. So do you have any question before we close the session? Anything that you would like to ask, or anything that you would like to get more for the next online session that we can create for you?
Yes, Manuela, can I ask, maybe you've mentioned it, but I wonder for second year, until which month we can use this database?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, there is not like a set date. I mean, because I'm sure there is like a few months between the end of the course and when you finish to have access. It's not immediate. I mean, it's not the last day of class of your second year. You have a few more days, but I can tell you for sure how long, but you have a few more days.
Yes, maybe I can check because we give access, for example, to Simplicity until 3 months after. And even for the one who are still looking for a job. Yeah. So maybe we can check if there is something that we can do to give access to the student until September at least.
Yeah, because this year for us is really difficult.
So let's check this with the library team and how we can manage it.
What we do normally is that even when you are alumni, you get to be a member of the alumni association. You don't have direct access to this type of databases because of the license reasons, but if you send an email to the library and tell us that you want the information specifically to prepare for an interview or something career related, we send the information to you. But you need to ask us. We need to be the middleman.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other question? Yes. Do you think that these tools are useful? Yes. Thank you, Mariana. So I hope you will use them, and don't hesitate, as I told you, ask us questions and we will try to help you as much as we can. Yeah. So thank you very much and have a good afternoon. See you maybe later in the session of Mike at 3:30.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.